It's your boy Tunchi, and this is YBETV. Oh, we in session. Oh, it's going down. What we talking about today? We talking about Scott Beckman Trucking. That is a local company on is by Joliet. And I've had the pleasure of working with them before. And I want to review them. But before we get into that, let's get into what we got to offer at YBETV. YBETV, go to the website, www.ybetv.org/shop, and you can pick up business credit course, business marketing course. Now, what are those going to help you do? One is the business marketing course is going to help you set up your business and structure it, and also get business credit and get the vendors that you need to report back to the business credit bureaus. The marketing course is going to get you set up so you can start going out and getting employees to come back into you. If you don't have the time to do the business setup, we actually have a program where we will do it for you. We have apparel where we will do your T-shirts for you. We'll do your logo, your T-shirts, whatever you need. And the more you buy, the more of a discount you get. Also, we got a free form. If you out here on a hunt for a company and you don't know exactly what questions to ask, go to ybetv.org/shop. Go all the way down to the bottom of the page and download the free form. What did you just say, sir? I said it's a free form. How much does free cost, Tune? I don't know. Maybe it's 1 + 1 - 2. That's exactly what free costs. So you go over there and you download that form, and it got all the questions you need to scout a good company. That sounds fair. And last but not least, YBETV has its first sponsor, and it is Plush Platter. Now, I'm not going to lie. This right here is it's a water with cucumber, mint, and one of them had kiwi in it. It is delicious. It is nutritious. And the way the food tastes, it makes you suspicious. Stop it, sir. Stop it, sir. All right. Today, let's talk about Scott Beckman. All right, Scott Beckman is a company, I think they pretty much out of Joliet. From my understanding, they only run in the container division. They have another branch which is in Yoder, Indiana, which is pretty much close to Fort Wayne. They pay 75% of the load, which is not high, but it's also not low. I think that's straight across the board. I don't think you get 100% of the fuel surcharge. So the average will possibly be like $1.75 a mile, give or take. You really don't do too much deadhead. You may deadhead to a pickup, but then that's really it. And you may deadhead from you might bobtail from Global 4 to like Dalton, you know what I'm saying, rail yard. And that's not pretty far. It's like 30 miles, 35 miles at the most. It's a very small company, so it's very intimate. You're going to get to know the people that's there. You're going to be able to say, hey, can I speak to Sally? Sally's going to be like, how you doing, James? How's it going? How's your cat? Is it out of surgery yet? So that I really do. I really like the idea of small companies. They're a lot more intimate. You're not treated like a number as such. The good side of Scott Beckman is it's small. One of the bad things that I don't like is that sometimes it's not work. So you might be like, hey, what we got today? They be like, well, you know, with the rail yard, a train can derail, weather can stop a train, the train can end up running late, and that will ultimately end you with the day off. But the numbers are pretty fair over at Scott Beckman. Let's put it like this. The guys over there at Scott Beckman, they're making really good money. Like 5 days, you might do between like $2,500 for 5 days. That's average. You can do close to $3,000 off 5 days if you got pickups every day. Though, oh my God, you will make out ridiculously. The next thing is, as far as if you want to work a 6-day or a 7th-day, usually they're open to it. They'll say, hey, you want to work this 6-day week? You want to work this 7-day week? You tell them, hey, I want to work it. I want to make some extra money. If they got the work, they'll give it to you, and the check will be magnificent. You probably, if you work 6-7 days, you might see $4,000. Yes, you might see $4,000. So that's definitely one of them things you'd be like, wait a minute, sir, that's definitely something to look forward to. That's a good option to have on the table. So that's definitely one of those things. Next, What about safety record? Not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if they safety rating. I'm not 100% sure. Accessibility. One of the owners, his name is Alan Beckman, if I'm not mistaken, and he's pretty accessible. When you first come in, he's one of the owners. I think it's owned by him and his brother. And I never met the brother Scott before, but I did meet Alan, and he's pretty accessible. Like, you can shoot him a text, he'll text you back. Like, you shoot him a text. Sometimes, the safety department may not be as they might not respond back as fast. That's one of the downfalls. The safety department does not respond as fast as you would like them to. Like, hey, got a question, blah, 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 this, and this. So, you might not get that text right back or that call right back, But for the most part, the dispatchers are pretty cool. They pretty down to earth, but they definitely don't play. They don't play. Like, if you expected to do something, they want you to get it done. So that's one of the other things. But in all, you can actually make some money. It's a small, intimate setting. If you go there, you can be home every day. And last but not least, like, they got pretty steady accounts where after you run for 2 weeks, you've probably going to go to at least 50 to 60% of the accounts that you're going to be running. You'll be running a lot of the same accounts. You may, every blue moon, see something new and be like, hey, this, that, and this, how do I get into this place? But after you get into the first time, it pretty much don't change. You might have to go to the other side of the building or something. But for the most part, it'd be pretty cool. And honestly, as long as I was at Scott Beckman, I can honestly say one thing. Every time I tried to do a calculation of what I thought my check would be, or what I've known from running local, it's always exceeded my expectations. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to bring in this amount of money, and then it'll be like this amount. I'm like, I thought it was going to be here, but it's here. I'm not about to call and complain. I'm not complaining about that. So ultimately, out of 5 stars, I give them a 4.5. Only reason is because sometimes the work is not there. At all times, it's not always the work. The safety department could respond a little bit faster, and the process of getting in could be a little bit more, fluent. Like, if they get that stuff under control, well, they can't control the rail, so they can't control that. But the other stuff, it's pretty fair. It's pretty cool. So I would definitely give them a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for right now. If anything changes or if I find out new information, I'll definitely do an update. But for right now, I give them thumbs up. So this is your boy Tunchi, Scott Beckman Trucking's Review. You already know what it is. If you don't want to end up in a box, you better think outside of it. YBE.
Drug dealing and killing is going on in my town. It don't take a killer to kill or a driller to drill. See, just being yourself is the definition of real.